statue in the middle of Reggio Emilia shows and reflects the urgency to teach children. Not sure if this is a mother or teacher, but it brought up the idea, do we have that urgency also to teach our children? The Reggio approach was developed after World War II by the psychologist Loris Malaguzzi and the parents in the city of Reggio Emilia. Reggio Emilia was devastated after World War II by bombings, and this approach came out of this hardship that they experienced. The main core to Reggio Emilia approach is that if kids appreciate and love beauty, that they will abhor, detest any ugliness, such as war or cruelty. Just taking a bike ride through Reggio Emilia, you can see how this approach flourished and began here with a strong community and a beautiful architecture that's surrounding you everywhere you go. In 2006, the Loris Malaguzzi Center opened in Reggio Emilia. This is the meeting place for professional development and research of the Reggio philosophy. The instructors and teachers at the Reggio Emilia Center kept on repeating about how it wasn't their purpose to duplicate the Reggio Emilia schools in Italy, but to actually just inspire teachers and instructors and leaders so that they can go back and help have this philosophy in their own countries and communities. One of the main principles of the Reggio Emilia philosophy is that children must be able to learn through experiences of touching, moving, listening, and observing. So it's an approach that uses all five senses, which is quite an interesting approach when you think of teaching a lesson. Another guiding principle is that children have a relationship with other children and with materials in the world that they must be able to be allowed to explore with, whether these materials be natural materials such as seeds and leaves or recycled materials that come from the community. Another interesting principle is that children must have some control over the direction of their learning, and that teachers shouldn't really teach something that a child can learn on their own. In this approach, the whole community takes part in the child's learning. When one would walk through a school, you could see the passion and love these children have for nature and the connection they have, and also the feeling of responsibility to take care of it. They also believe that digital tools can help the process of learning, but that should not be the focus. That the digital language is a connector, such as a connector to drawing or a connector to understanding more about something in science or about a plant or leaf. Here are just a few examples of how they use space and how they believe that it should be large, that it should be space should be used in an innovative way, that it should be provocative, and that it's a significant and a very interesting way they use tools to enhance learning. The Reggio Emilia approach also believes that the beauty promotes interest in learning, and you can really feel it when you come into these learning spaces, how you get very curious about what's on the walls, what's on the tables, and you just want to start touching and playing with these things, and it's fascinating. One of the projects the children participated in was, what does a city look like? And they made cities using light tables and making maps on tables and using pictures that they had of their city, and they expressed what a city is in many different forms, and also they created these beautiful art pieces that they felt what their city was like. They demonstrated it through drawings, but also they demonstrated it through colors and paintings, and one of their actual paintings that they did about their city was put up on one of the performing stages in the city center, which was quite impressive. One part I really enjoyed was watching this boy and girl who got into the zone and were painting, and they were painting for about 20 minutes, and they were having conversations with their paintings and the learning that was going through. And another part where a group was looking at a fruit, and they were looking through a microscope connected to the computer, and then they drew it and then made it out of clay. Documentation is fundamental for reflecting on our own experiences and figuring out where we need to go in the future as educators. Having the documentation visual also lets the children revisit their experiences and reflect and discuss, and it gives the discussions a more of an objective point of view. Last, I just wanted to show you some of the spaces and what kind of learning took place. It's very visual. So